whatever the data that you have, so everything will be treated as a Python object. Pickle is a module which consists of multiple methods which mainly deals on the binary files. If I want to write any object into the binary file, so I will be using the dump function or the dump method. Append in the sense adding the content at the end is what I will call it as a append. Seek function changes the position of the file pointer by placing the file pointer at the specified position. Hello my dear students, I welcome all of you to the very interesting session on file handlings. So guys, what exactly I will be discussing in this session with all of you? Yes, without wasting much of your time, let me show you that. Guys, mainly I will be focusing on what exactly binary files is all about and how do I deal with binary file, how do I write the data into the binary file, how do I read the data from the binary file is what I will be discussing. Along with that, I will also discuss what exactly .csv file is all about and how do I perform the operation with respect to the .csv file, and I will also cover what exactly the advantage that I have with respect to the .csv file. So that's what I will be discussing. So this is the agenda briefly that I'm keeping in front of you guys. So guys, let's get into the session quickly. Imagine I have the Python object. So whatever the data that you have, so everything will be treated as a Python object is what you need to remember at this point of time. So fine, I have the Python object and I want to store that in the binary file. How do I do it? I need to convert that Python object into byte stream. So the process of converting the Python object into byte stream is what I will be calling it as a serialization. So that's what you need to understand. The another synonym for the serialization is what I will be calling it as a pickling. So please remember, I repeat, I treat everything in the Python as a Python object. So that's the reason that we call the Python as a pure object-oriented programming language. When I have everything as a Python object, I need to store the content into the binary file. So before I store the content into the binary file, I convert everything, I mean to say the Python objects into binary files. That's going to be in the byte stream. So that process is what I will call it as a serialization. The another name for the serialization is what I will call it as a pickling. The reverse process of pickling is what I will call it as a unpickling. This is what you need to remember. So fine, moving forward. So guys, what exactly that I need to remember when I'm working with the binary files? So I understood what is pickling and what exactly unpickling is what we have discussed. Now, it's very important that you need to remember the pickle model implements the fundamentals. If I want to deal with a binary file, it is most important that I need to import a very important module. That's going to be the import pickle. Sure, import is a keyword to import any module in Python. And the name of the module that I have here is pickle. Sir, why do I use the module pickle here? Pickle is a module which consists of multiple methods which mainly deals on the binary files. For example, I have some of the methods like dump and I have some of the method like load. Why do I use dump and load? I will be discussing that in detail in the next slide. So need to understand, suppose if I am using the functions like dump and load, I have to import the module called pickle. The one thing that you need to remember and never forget, suppose if I am dealing with the binary file, it's most important that you should import the module called pickle. That's the first thing that you need to remember. So fine, moving forward to the next point that I have. Guys, open the binary file in the required file mode. What exactly it means to say that, sir? The first thing, if I want to deal with any binary file, what is the first thing that you will do? You will import the binary module. What exactly binary module is all about? So guys, if I want to open a binary file, what is the first step that we have? First, I want to import the pickle module. Yes, done. It is done. What is the next step? I want to open the file in the mode. Say, for example, you have already studied, we have read mode, we have write mode, whatever the appropriate mode that you have. So you use that to open the file. Then followed by, so process the binary file by writing or reading objects. So that's what you need to remember. Whatever the operation that you wanted to do, you please do it. Then after that, once it is done, so please remember you have to close the file. So this is the normal process that we have to follow when we are dealing with the files, especially in the binary files. Moving forward, so guys, this is the general syntax that I'm keeping in front of you. So how do I open the binary file? So please remember, so guys, I will be using the file pointer. So guys, we all know that. Then followed by, it's a most important function that you need to remember. Whenever I'm trying to open any file, I have to use the function called open. Inside that, I have got two parameters. The first parameter, which is enclosed between the quotes. So what I have is stu is the name of the file, dot dat is a format. So that's what you need to understand. So this is the file format, or the file extension is what you need to understand. So fine, I'm trying to open this file in this mode. So guys, that is what you need to understand. So the first parameter what I have is a file name is what you need to understand. And the second one what I have is the mode in which you are trying to open. So this is what you need to understand, and this is the mode. Guys, when it comes to the write mode, so please remember, sir, is this something new that I have to remember? No, it's not new. You have already studied this in the normal text file. So there also we use the write mode, write in the sense W. But remember, I have to use B here. What is the meaning of B? When I'm dealing with the binary files, I have to give B. So here I have given B plus. So guys, it means to say that both I can read as well as write with the binary files is what you need to remember at this point of time. Right, moving forward, after your processing, reading and writing, so don't forget to close the file. So guys, whatever the file pointer that you have here, so guys, use that, and along with that, you have to use a function called close. So you will be closing that particular file is what you need to remember with the help of this syntax. This is how we deal with the binary files. Moving forward to the next one. So I have already told you, I will be importing one of the important module if I want to deal with the binary files. So what is that important module? Yes, we all know that that is going to be pickle, right? So why do I have pickle? So in that pickle module, I will be using some of the methods, right? Some of the methods, I will also call it as some of the predefined functions. So what exactly that functions that I will be using? Yes, it's none other than, so guys, I will be using dump. What exactly dump is all about? So can you all please tell me? Yes, guys, to write any object. So guys, remember, to write any object onto the binary files, I will be using the dump function. If I want to write any object into the binary file, so I will be using the dump function, or the dump method is what you need to remember. So what is the syntax for that? So please observe, pickle is a module, dot dump is a method that I have inside the pickle. So that's what you need to remember. So guys, I have two things here. That's what you need to observe. I have the content. So I have the content in the list. I'm trying to store that in the file 1 as a pointer, which is pointing to my binary file. So that's what you need to observe here. So file 1 in the sense what, sir? So this is what I will call it as a file 1. So guys, I have my content in the list. I'm trying to store that content into this file 1 is what you need to remember with respect to this example. So I'm using the method called dump. So to completely dump all my content, what I have in the list or in the student 1 is what you need to remember. So fine, moving forward, guys, appending the records. What exactly the meaning of appending the records? So before I go to the appending the records, let me also show you something about load. Okay, so before I go to the appending record, so let me discuss about the load. What exactly load is all about? It is quite opposite to the dump. So guys, if I'm writing there with the help of the dump, I will be reading the content with the help of the load is what you need to remember. So fine, what is the syntax for the load then? So guys, I will be using the module name again, dot load is what you need to remember, and then whatever I have in the content that is in the file handle, so I will be loading that is what you need to remember. Sir, what is this FIN? So please remember, here is a file handle. So this is what I will be calling it as a file handle is what you need to remember. So fine, so hope you understood the load and dump. So now let me go to the content called append. So you all know what exactly the concept of append is all about. Append in the sense, imagine this is the content that I have in my file. If I am performing the append operation, I will retain this content and then I will place my writing pointer to the end of the file and I will start my content from here onwards. So that is what I will call it as a append. Append in the sense adding the content at the end is what I will call it as a append. So guys, this is the syntax that you need to follow if you are trying to open the binary file in the append mode. So what is the syntax? Obviously, this is the file handle and then I'm trying to open the function that is open. I'm trying to open the file with the help of open function and then here is the file name and I'm trying to open this file in the append mode. A in the sense append, and obviously I have to use B because I am dealing with a binary file. So fine. So you have understood what exactly append is all about. You have understood what is dump and what is load. Let me move to the next topic that I have here. So guys, reading from a binary file. If I want to read a content, so what exactly that I have to do? So you all know that we have already discussed. But when I'm reading, I will also come across with some of the end of the file errors. So if I get any errors when I'm performing some operations, how do I solve it? So for that, remember, I will be using try and except blocks. You would have seen this in the Java if you have studied. So we have exceptional handlings. So there you would have understood this topic. Here also we handle with a try and except block. So that's what you need to remember. So fine, along with that, we also using with statements, right? So this is how I handle if there is any errors when I'm performing any operations with respect to the binary files is what you need to remember at this point of time. Moving forward to the next concept that I have. So guys, the following steps that I have to follow if I want to search for anything in the binary files is what you need to remember. So then what are the steps that I have to follow, sir? It's going to be very simple. So all of you will be knowing it. So first of all, I have to open the file in the read mode. Yes, we all know that. Read the file content record by record. So what is the meaning of it? I treat one row as a record. So that's what you need to remember. One record, after that, another record. So you have to read the record. So one by one is what the second point says. In every read record, so look for a desired search key. What exactly that you are trying to look. So that I will call it as a search key. Suppose if you are trying to search for some particular key, so try to look for that in the record. So if found, process are desired. So whatever you wanted to do, you can do it. Otherwise, repeat the step, in the next record is what they are trying to say in the next point. Fine. Suppose if the search key is not found, I did not find the search key which I'm trying to look inside the record. So please remember, report that no such value found in the file. So obviously, all of us know this is going to be very simple that all of you will be knowing this, right? So let me not stress on this. So this is the syntax that we need to follow. And then, guys, you understood how do I search. And now, suppose if I wanted to update the file. So what are the steps that I need to follow? Guys, here I have listed some of the few easy steps that I need to remember with respect to updating your file. So guys, locate the record to be updated by searching for it. So fine, I will locate it and then make the changes in the loaded record in the memory. So whatever the changes that you wanted to do, you please do it and then write back onto the file on the exact location. So say for example, I wanted to change here. So the spelling is like, I've got a space here between TH space E. I wanted to identify this. I want to go to this location particularly in the memory and then I wanted to rewrite it. I will remove the space in the same memory. I will save it back. That's what I will call it as an update here, which all of you will be knowing. All right, moving forward to the next one, a very important function, in fact, I would like to discuss at this point of time. So guys, the two file pointer locating functions. So the first one that I have, please make a note on this. This is going to be very important with respect to 1 mark. What exactly the tell function is doing and what exactly the seek function is doing. Guys, tell function will speak about the current position of the pointer, where exactly the writing pointer or the reading pointer that you have on the file is what can be identified with the help of tell function. But when it comes to the seek pointer, so guys, let's check what exactly that I have with respect to the seek pointer. Observe carefully. So guys, seek function changes the position of the file pointer by placing the file pointer at the specified position. So guys, say for example, this is the pointer. So I will pass the parameter, say for example, 30. So I will place my pointer to that desired location. That's what you need to understand. So I have an example here. So I observe file handling.seek 30. So place my pointer to that particular desired location. So that is what I will be doing with the help of the function or the method that is seek is what you need to understand at this point of time. The next topic that I have here is all about the CSV file. What exactly that CSV file is all about. C in the sense comma, S in the sense separated, V in the sense value, comma separated values. All the data what I have, I will be having that in the tabular column. I will be storing that data in the form of comma separated values. So that comma is what I will be calling it as a delimiter. So that was my old implementation, but in the recent updates, we can use anything as a delimiter is what we need to remember at this point of time. So guys, let's check why do I need this CSV file. So I have some of the advantage with respect to the CSV file. That's going to be the first one is easier to create. So that's the first advantage that I have with respect to the CSV. And the second one is prefer to export and import in the form of CSV. Whenever I'm importing the data or whenever I'm exporting the data from the database, I will be preferring this .csv file. So that's what you need to remember. That's a second advantage that I have. And the third one is capable of storing a large amount of data is what you need to understand with respect to the CSV file. So fine. Moving forward, so guys, this is how I will be handling my CSV file. If you understand how do I deal with text file, how do I deal with binary file, it is also almost similar because I will be using the open function. So whenever I'm dealing with the CSV file, I have to import a module called import CSV. So import is a keyword again, CSV is a module name that I have to use. So fine, in the same way, I will be using the open function to open even the CSV file. Here, observe the file extension .csv. And I'm trying to open that in the write mode is what you need to make a note at this point of time. Even in this file also, I can perform read operation as well as the write operation is what you need to understand at this point of time. Moving forward to the next one. So I forgot to mention one more point. So guys, obviously, once you are done with your processing or the desired work with your file, so you have to close, like how you do the processing of closing the file with respect to the text and the binary file. You have to do the same thing with respect to the CSV file. So guys, moving forward, I have some of the end of the line characters. So that's what they have given here. So please understand. So they have given some of the symbols, meaning, and then operating systems. So what exactly it performs. The next line I will be using the /n. So again I have /n and /r, so which we have already discussed, and we have /0. /0 represents the null character. This is what you need to remember with respect to the escaping sequence which we perform or which we use in the CSV files. Right, moving forward to the next important functions that I have with respect to the CSV files. My dear students, you need to understand I have the writer function. Why do I use this writer function? CSV.writer returns a writer object which writes the data into a CSV file. So I will be having my data in my own format, so which converts everything which is suitable for the writer object with the help of the function called writer. So that is the most important thing that you need to remember. And I have one more function that is write row. So observe, I have write row and write rows. If I explain this, I think you will be able to understand this very easily. So guys, if I want to write one single row, so that I will be using the function called write row. If I want to write multiple nested rows, I will be using the write rows function is what you need to remember with respect to the CSV file. So guys, observe, I have got a diagram for all of you. What exactly is happening here? User will be typing the data, so user data is coming here, and then so I will be taking the help of .csv write row. So fine, so what exactly that we are doing with the write row? Observe here, it converts the user data into CSV writable form. So that is what you need to understand with the help of this functions. Okay, I'm converting the user data into CSV writable form is what you need to understand. CSV writable form in the sense what are? I will be adding some of the delimiter. So with the help of this is what you need to understand. So fine. So that delimited string as per the CSV settings, that will go to the delimited data, and I will be storing that in the CSV file is what you need to understand. So in the same way, guys, observe, this is the steps that I need to follow whenever I want to write some data into the CSV file, which we have already discussed, right? So the first one is you have to import the CSV module, and you have to open the file, and this function that I'm going to use is open. So open, which we have discussed it already. And then, so guys, this is the data that I wanted to insert, right? So I'm passing that as a parameter to the function that is write row is what you need to understand. Then finally, I'll close the file. So this is what you need to remember with respect to the CSV file if I'm writing the data. Suppose if I'm using the write rows, so write rows, I will be using the write rows if I have the nested list. Okay, so I will be having multiple rows. In that particular situation, I will be using the write rows function is what you need to remember. So fine. In the same way how I was using the CSV writer, in the same way I will be using the CSV reader. What exactly CSV reader is all about? So guys, remember, CSV reader is one of the important functions, CSV.reader. What exactly it is doing? Returns a reader object which loads the data from the CSV file into the iterative after passing the delimited data. What exactly it means, sir? I want you all to observe this diagram. Please observe this diagram carefully. What exactly is happening? So guys, please observe, here I have CSV file on the storage disk. I have my CSV file here. All my data is in the CSV file. So fine, that is coming here. I'm using the file, or I'm using the function called CSV.reader object. So fine, reader is a object, reader is a function here. What exactly that is doing? So it parses in the sense what? It converts the delimited CSV file data and loads into the iteratable. What is the meaning of it? It reads the data in a row-wise, record-wise, row by row it reads, and it stores the data as it is in the iterative form. At a time, it reads one row. So whatever the delimited data that I have, so I will read that and I will convert that and I will store that in a row-wise is what you need to understand at this point of time with respect to the CSV readable. So guys, this is the end of the chapter that I have. So I think I have discussed in detail with all of you with respect to the CSV and also with respect to the binary files, and also we have discussed in detail with respect to the text files. So hope you have enjoyed the content. If you have got some content from this video, guys, don't forget to click on the like button and share the video with everybody. Thank you, one and all.